Today, how behavioral finance biases inflate our ego and tempt us to make overconfident decisions. Hi, I'm Graeme Newell, and I use the latest brain science insights to show you how to make smarter money decisions. My speeches and webinars teach how to recognize the signs that an impulsive decision might be likely. Click subscribe and the bell below to see more of my videos. The pandemic has motivated an entire new generation of entrepreneurs. Seems like everyone's inventing new ways to live and do business now. It's an exciting time, but with a depressed economy, is now the best time to start a new business. I attribute my own business success to one thing: my own ignorance. Ironically, I happened to start my business at the beginning of a boom cycle. Sure, I did a few things right, but I blindly stumbled into the market at the very moment customers were hungry to buy. 2011 was an outstanding year for me, not because of any skill on my part. The simple truth is my competitors had been killed off in 2008, and I was one of the few left standing. Meanwhile, my overstuffed ego had taken control. My newfound entrepreneurial success had me offering business advice to anyone unfortunate enough to listen to me. But my overconfidence wasn't just ego on my part. I was suffering from a common cognitive bias called the Dunning Kruger effect. This is a judgment flaw where people with low ability at a task overestimate their skill. People like me, who had limited knowledge, tend to suffer a dual burden. Not only did I reach mistaken conclusions, but my incompetence robbed me of the ability to realize it. And we love to hate these people. Think of Stephen Colbert and his mocking portrayal of conservative news anchors. Cliff Clavin, the bar know-it-all in the old series Cheers. Or Amy Poehler as Leslie Knope in Parks and Rec. A lot of people describe themselves as above average in intelligence, humor, kindness, and especially romantic prowess. These people usually have well-developed denial skills and are blissfully unaware of their shortcomings. The Dunning-Kruger effect is often called the double curse because not only do these people perform poorly, but they're not self-aware enough to judge themselves accurately. This means they're unlikely to learn and grow. And those with the least skill are the most likely to overestimate their abilities. In a famous study, researchers gave students an emotional intelligence test, then asked the participants to predict their score. Most people in the bottom 10% of the class were oblivious to their lack of skill. They guessed they'd score a whopping 65% higher than they actually did. But here's the interesting part. Those who scored in the top 10% of the class tended to underestimate their score by as much as 20%. Those with little knowledge don't know what they don't know. But those with a high level of knowledge tend to have a healthy appreciation of all the things they've yet to learn. And this is where the opposite of the Dunning-Kruger effect kicks in. Top performers can sometimes feel they're less competent than others. This is a cognitive bias called the Imposter Syndrome. It's the belief that others are more competent than we are. So the sweet spot is to be somewhere in the middle. Not too naive, but not too overwhelmed. But the Dunning-Kruger effect has its greatest influence in the world of finance. A surging stock market is thrilling, not just for the money made, but also for the ego boost. This surge bolsters the vanity of the novice, and reckless overconfidence often ensues. Take a gander at the history of the Dow, and almost everyone's made money. But that success has little to do with individual investing skill. As the famous quote goes, a rising tide lifts all boats. If you'd like to learn more about why our brain is so vulnerable to this overconfidence, I've got another video for you. Just click on the info card right here to see it. So how do you avoid the Dunning-Kruger effect? No one wants to become that clueless know-it-all everyone hates. Well, there are 2 steps. First, honestly gauge your level of denial. Have you heard criticisms that you ignore or discount the ideas and feelings of others? You may have experienced the Dunning-Kruger effect. And step 2, do you assertively seek out contradictory opinions? It's important to actively seek out those with the courage to call you on your own blind spots. Right now, I'm working on another video about how cognitive biases tempt us to make bad financial choices. If you'd like to be alerted when that video is completed, just click on my face below to subscribe. And be sure to click that bell too. I've created tons more videos on how brain science can help you make smarter money choices. Click on this box to see the full playlist. I'm Graeme Newell, and that's Better Decisions Through Brain Science.